You are watching CIO TV by Enterprise IT World, a production of Accent Infomedia.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our JITEC special show. With me, we have Mr. Hussein, and he's from SentinelOne, a cybersecurity platform. So let's hear from him how Zytex has, helped them, or what his expectations from Zytex are. So welcome to the show, and tell us how your experience as Zytex has been so far.
Thank you. It's been a busy day. Usually the first day we don't expect that crowd. But yeah, it's interesting how they organized all cybersecurity companies this year in a special pavilion, which is helping us because now we are getting a customer really focusing, need to hear about cybersecurity, different from last year when we have a customer who just shop around and try to see all the companies presenting. For us, it's always a good platform. GITEX is always one of our main events which we have to participate every year because we get in touch with our customer to showcase what we have as a new capability and feature and solution to them. We get in touch with partner, our distributor, and see how can we serve our customer better. And also we get in touch with colleagues and see what's happening in technology trend, the threat, and we keep discussing all of this and how can we help collectively our customer to overcome all of those challenges.
It's interesting to hear from our partners here and the companies here that one of the reasons or the most important reason they are here is to listen to the customer. So what are you hearing from the customer?
So it goes without any surprise, AI. And this is the theme of the event, everything AI. So generative AI did a huge shift in AI is not a new concept. It's been there since years. But what happened with generative AI with the use of application like ChatGPT, so the business users start looking to have the same capability. And why, as a consumer, I'm getting all this luxury by using those kind of generative AI application, and I don't get the same when it comes to business. So we started listening to our customer from last year, and we added this feature, for example, in our platform. So now a security analyst doesn't need to be so much expert and knowledgeable about what's happening. He can use our AI platform and ask in an English like, do I have any attack coming from this country? Which application or data it have been compromised? What can I do to protect it? Do you see any lateral movement in my environment? I heard about this ABT. Do you think it's in my platform? So see, it doesn't need to be an expert in threat hunting or a security analyst. Now, a normal security analyst can just go and talk to the system and get a good result. Usually it will need a very specialized and expert person to be able to get this amount of information.
Amazing. It's like, you can just talk to the system and the system gives an output.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
amazing features. So tell us, walk us through what SentinelOne is about. It is definitely a security solutions company, but what is the span of offering that you have?
Sure. So the company started with an EDR solution, endpoint security solution, which is at that time in 2013 we started by AI engine, which was disrupting to the market at that time. All the solution is rely on a signature based, and when we started, we took a different approach to look into the behavior of the application and try to implement the concept of AI and having a static AI engine, behavioral AI engine within the application as a platform itself. And then with time, it have been evolved. So for example, securing identity, which is a main entry point for any compromise could happen to any organization is important. But what about the identity? The people using those, interacting with those application and data. So we started looking into secure and identity. We acquired a company called Atibus. They are a leader in identity management, deception-based solution. And we added this part of our portfolio. So now we can protect also organization from any misuse of credentials, of any abuse of user access, elevating escalation of any one of the user in this organization. Then we start looking into their application workload itself, because it's no longer running in the customer data center. It could be in a AWS cloud, it could be in Microsoft Azure, it could be in Google Cloud. So how can we go and protect those applications running on a public cloud in addition to the application running in a private cloud? And now the application moved from just running in a virtual machine to be in a container. So how can I secure the application running either in a physical server, virtual machine, or running in a form factor of a container? So we added also those capability. And then we look to even doing a security for a mobile devices in a partnership with our mobile vendors, to be able also to extend the solution capability to cover also the mobile device. So eventually we end up by having a unified platform can provide all the cyber security feature needed by any organization, from endpoint to cloud to identity to mobile, and giving all the needed services from incident response, threat hunting, threat intelligence, MDR, training, support, everything any organization could need.
Okay, thank you. That's excellent. Now, two things I found very interesting in what you said. One was when you said end-to-end security, including container security. Now, container is a very different concept from, say instances, because there the instances are ephemeral and it's not the same kind of monitoring or anomalous behavior. So, what kind of, how is security monitored in containers, or, how is the security different there as compared to, say, any other virtual instances?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because traditionally when you install, when you want to secure an endpoint, you install an agent. And in a container, you don't have you don't have an operating system where you install an agent. So what we do, we install it in the worker node. So the way container platform organized, they have this concept of worker node, where we can go and deploy our agents there, and it have access to all created container, and be able to inspect and scan and analyze any activity happening within this container. And why we added this, again, to minimize the use of multiple platforms, because eventually when the container started, the customer had to deal with a different console, different dashboard, to see what's happening on this part of the infrastructure, and a different console, different dashboard, to check what's happening on maybe the virtual machine or the application. So what we try to do is to have a one platform, one console, where the customer can see and have full visibility to everything happening on the application, irrespective of the nature of the application.
Thank you so much. But one of the things is, despite the sophistication of technology, it is the weakest link in an enterprise, which is the employees. I mean, is it possible to do something, what do you do about that? How do you, they are the first gates of the security of an enterprise, and you inadvertently may let in a virus or a malware, despite the most sophisticated one. So how do you go about, how does an organization?
For us, most importantly, because again, nowadays, again, we'll mention AI, because attacker, as much as it's important and give it a lot of benefit to organization, enterprise, also attacker and hacker using it. So now we are seeing more sophisticated viruses we never see, and malware we never saw before. So what we want to do, our solutions try to block this kind of behavioral, because you will get a lot of zero-day attack. Now it became like the norm, and it's more common than traditional attack. So how to be able to stop and prevent any kind of damage when you have this zero-day attack. This is what we try to enhance and to add in our platform, where we give an alert immediately to the security operational team about any misbehavioral, and we can even quarantine a machine, we can take it out of the network, we can even do any action could be configured, like stopping the user, shutting down the system, to make sure the damage will not propagate within the environment. And let us say it happened. So the system has the capability to do rollback to the instant of the endpoint before the attack happened. So let us say compromise happened, and now the data got been, the access to the system got logged, and maybe an attacker will start reaching to the team asking for a ransomware. We can simply our solution give a capability to the team where they can roll back without need to go into this hustle of ransomware negotiation and restore the endpoint to the healthy status before the attacks happen.
So tell us about Zytex. How long have you been coming to Zytex, and
Personally, this is my 23rd JITEX. So I'm attending JITEX since 1998. So it's been an amazing journey. Yes, it's my first year in cybersecurity. I used to be in the cloud side, attending with my previous companies, where we used to promote and talk about how to help customer for digital transformation, how to embrace the cloud transformation journey. But this year it's a new hat for me where I talk to my customer about how to secure. Now you virtualize, you go to cloud. Let me help you how to secure all of this. Yeah.
security has definitely become a most critical discussion in any, yeah. So this is no longer a technical discussion, this is a business discussion. So do you have any technology partnerships with any of the public cloud service providers?
So we do, for example, with AWS, with Google. So we have, because as we were discussing before having the interview, our solution is SaaS-based, and to have a SaaS-based consumption, it needs to be somewhere on a cloud. So what we are doing, we have our agreement with the public cloud provider like AWS, like GCP, for example, where our platform will be deployed there, and our customer can consume it from those cloud providers. Like still in our region, customer ask for an on-prem local deployment. We still can do this, although it's more beneficial to the customer to go for the SaaS option for the lot of benefits they all know. They don't need to take care of the updates, the upgrades, the patching of the platform. So all of this, since it's a SaaS, us as a SentinelOne will take care of all those kind of operational activity on behalf of our customer. Scalability of the solutions, they don't need to worry about this. We provide security, compliance of the solution. We worry and we take care of this. So customer really can get a lot of benefit by moving to SaaS rather than have an on-prem deployment.
Now, the gap in cybersecurity solution is a huge one, and it's been bothering a lot of all businesses. So, what do you, as a cybersecurity solutions provider, how are you all addressing that or helping customers address that solution, that challenge? So, the gap in experienced or competent cybersecurity professionals. Do you have training programs?
So we are facing this a lot because a lack of talented resource, so especially when it comes to threat hunting, SOC analyst, it's really a big issue to most of our customers. They are few, and even if you found a good resource, will be so expensive. So what we are trying to do in our company, we are tackling the issue from two perspectives. One, we train the existing people, either pre-grad or even both. So we even look to university. So we go and give a lecture and session about cybersecurity to motivate this new generation to look for the career of cybersecurity engineer. And then we go for the current cybersecurity engineer in the market and we give them education, training. We have our own SentinelOne University where they can subscribe and they can get all this kind of education part of our platform, and we do this kind of boot camp from time to time, capture the flag part of our activities in UAE office to make sure we have this community awareness about the cybersecurity threat. How can you be ready to respond to it? How can you have a good incident response plan? How can you mitigate all of these kind issues you could have? So this is we really trying to do our best to provide. And the second part I mentioned when we start the discussion, having generative AI part of the solution. So it helps to augment this. So instead of going and try to educate and train people to have this kind of expert level, the tool can augment, and so exactly. So with their normal capability, with the help of generative AI part of the platform, it can augment all these missing skills, and you can get it out of the box from the solution itself.
See, now technology skills is one part, but especially when it comes to cybersecurity, I think a very important element is also how can you think like a criminal, you know, so that you're able to outsmart them. So, I mean, do you teach those skills, or are those kind of skills, you know, that people pick up on the job?
This is a very good point because usually when I talk to my customer, they always focus on the technology part, and I always remind them it's a people, technology processes. So technology is one, having a good system is one, but what about your people? Are they trained enough to tackle all of this? We still facing this phishing technique. It happen every day. Getting an email, click, this is your order have been delivered, click here to but you know how many times you يعني, any organization educating their employees about this phishing technique, and we still getting the same every day where people go and click and they cause a lot of damage to the organization. So people is really a key important aspect to cover. Processes, incident will happen. Do you have a solid processes to respond to minimize the impact? Do you have really a cyber resilience to mitigate for any kind of damage could happen and to minimize the impact and the effect? This is where a solid incident response, for example, plan and process would help. So customer need to pay attention to processes people as much as they pay, if even not more than they pay for technology.
So thank you so much. It was a very interesting conversation, and we hope to keep learning from you as we go
Thank you
forward.
so
Thank
much
you.
for getting me.
Thank you.